Guys, so this is a quick video on how mystery dungeons work. This is more towards the newer players that are getting into Heir of Light, since I see a lot of people in the chat, with the global chat, um, asking how you request a mystery dungeon from a person that, opened one, or how do you open one. So, first off, let's get into how you get one, how you can possibly get one. There's two different ways, I believe. Um, One is through actually farming a certain element dungeon, right? So let's say you want a fire element dungeon, a specific one. You can't choose which one you get, but if you get lucky and you get the one that you want, well, that's great. But the only way you can open a dungeon, there's two different ways, is doing the element dungeon itself. So let's say you want a forest type, right? You go to the forest. Let's go to number 7. You do 7, you click repeat or whatever, right? Um, you can click end battle when you this right here. You can end the battle once you find a mystery dungeon, just in case it finds one. Now it depends if you get the one you want. You most likely won't, but that's one way you can open it. Another way that you can open a mystery dungeon is, let's say, because today is a day where all the dungeons are open, but let's say you want a fire dungeon, right? But let's say hypothetically that today is the water dungeon, so you can't open a fire dungeon because it's water day, right? So another way you can open a dungeon is through going to an explore section with the EXP. I'm not sure you can actually open it through one of these. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you can. But if you go to one of these EXP tiles and you just farm it out, so let's say you're raising some units like I usually do here, over time you can unlock a mystery dungeon. I don't know how often that can open, but that's another way you can open it in case the day that you're playing doesn't have the element that you want. So let's say you want a fire dungeon, but today is water, or you want a water dungeon, but it's fire today. So just go to one of the water ones, right? So that's two different ways that you can open a dungeon. Okay, so now usually in different games, in order to request a dungeon from a person in the chat, you have to add the person. But in Heir of Light, you don't have to do that. You can actually just request a dungeon itself and not have to add the person. Especially the person's just farming, they don't see your friend request or whatever. So this is the great thing about Heir of Light that I haven't seen any other game do. So what you want to do when you want to request a dungeon? So let's say you want to do this 3-star dark. I don't know how to say it, Medhead, right? So how do you request a dungeon? So you go the name is gonna be highlighted in yellow. You click on the name, it opens up, and in the bottom right it says play mystery dungeon, and it says 0 out of 10. If the mystery dungeon is highly requested, it's gonna be like 9 out of 10 or whatever. If it's full, you cannot request it anymore. But since this mystery dungeon isn't being used, you just click on it, and then you click yes, and now you're invited into the dungeon. The person doesn't have to invite you or anything. You just do that, and you're invited into the dungeon. So where do you go to your mystery dungeons? You go right here. There's a little door right there, and it shows up. Okay, so that's how you request mystery dungeons from the chat. Let's just do it again one more time, just in case you don't understand that well. All right, so let's go to this fire hound, right? Oh, I need this fire hound. All right, person is farming. You go to his name. You play the mystery dungeon. Click yes. And now you exit out of that, and then just go to your little door, and it shows up in your list. One thing I want to say is that if you're farming, you cannot open 2 mystery dungeons of your own. You can't. You can only open one at a time for 1 hour. Once that hour is over, you can open another one. Now, I'm pretty sure you can't open two. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can only open one at a time. But you can request multiple mystery dungeons. So if you want to do another one, let's just do another one real quick. Um, let's say this water ultic. Right? You need them. You need them for whatever purposes you need them. Clicked on the wrong name. Okay, here we go. So now you need it. You play Mystery Dungeon, click yes, back out, and then you go here and it's in your list. So hopefully this video helps you a lot, especially towards you new players that don't know how to request Mystery Dungeons. If it did, that's great. Get your farming on. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.